Hi, welcome to making a sharp point in tape lace, but this point can be adapted to using any lace that you need a particularly sharp, well-controlled point. So we're working this zigzag practice pattern, and I'll just do a quick pass of the workers across the 4 passive. There's only 5 pairs in this particular pattern, making sure my passives are not twisted. After I've passed away from a pin, the pins won't pushing down so that the tensioning threads can be spread over the work and they don't get in the way. Now I've gone through the 4 passives here, and we have another bit of the pattern. We have a line here which makes a joining bar coming from one side and then sewn in from the other side, so my worker needs to work a pin not on the edges of the bar, but towards the centre, veering fractionally towards the original side. So that's my pin. I'll put my twists on, ready to go around. I'm using 3 twists on that because it is a very tiny little stitch around there. So I will work back along, and that is half a bar. The other half will be worked when I go down the other side. Pin slightly out to tension against, working back through the 4. Just pop that pin down out of the sight. Now, when I get to here, there isn't another pinhole, so you have to zigzag your pinholes. So I need one, this is the other one opposite, so I need one just above that, and I need one just above this. And using 2 pairs here, I've got my worker and my passive. My worker and my passive, and I'm going to put a pin underneath both of them. So I've got my worker and my last passive I worked through. The worker is going to rest there, and the passive is going to have a twist on, and it is going to work back through the 3 remaining passives. Using that pin available there. Make sure everybody's happy and tensioned. Working back through the remaining 3 passives. And we repeat the movement that we did with the previous worker. The worker that's just come through, I will be leaving to this side and using the passive as the worker, but first I need the pin, a temporary pin in between, and I'm going to put on a twist on my worker, returning worker, and now we do a different stitch here. We do a fixing or turning stitch. For this purpose it fixes the top pin, it fixes the corner. So we go, it's 5 movements, cross, twist, cross, twist, cross. That's the 5 movements. And then repeat that with the next pair. Cross, twist, cross, twist, cross. Your worker is now on this side. The working pair is now on this side. The 2 passives there, so we'll give the worker its 2 twists around the top, leaning it slightly outwards so that when I turn the pillow around, which I need to do now, the bobbins will hang straight off it. So I'll put those to the side, turn my pillow, nestle it back in its little bed, little scrunchy bed, and then check that everybody's okay. Yes, this first worker pair that we took out is laying down there. The second worker pair is still laying down there. The third, and one passive, two passive, worker pair. So when we take the passive and the first worker, we're going to do that fixing stitch again, the 5 movements, cross, twist, cross, twist, cross, tension all 4 bobbins. Take the next passive pair, work the same, work through the next passive pair, cross, twist, cross, twist, cross, the 5 movements again. When you've got 2 passives out to one side and just the worker left, we want to sew into this first temporary pin below the top edge pin. So I'm going to remove that. The twist that we put around the worker pair after it had gone round that pin and gone the other way has left a nice little obvious hole to use for a sewing. So I'll take the first pair, the nearest pair to that hole, make a sewing by making the loop and putting the other bobbin through the loop, tension up, leave that without twists and bring in the next worker pair. The first one is left, this is the second one you left out, and it came from below that pin, so I'm using this now as the worker pair to go through, to just cloth stitch through, cross, twist, cross, through those 3 to the outside. That's my new worker. 1, 2, twists at the pin, and back again. You have to excuse the jiggling, the zoom makes the camera shake a little bit. Through the next passive, through the next passive, and when I get to this next temporary pin, the first one that we made around the worker that we left out, take that pin out. It won't be replaced, you don't replace a temporary pin, and we make a sewing in there with this worker that's coming up. Make the sewing, no twist on that, and the worker, the last worker that was laid to one side, this is now the worker again. So we work back across, twist, twist, work back across again, through 4 passives in the straight cross, twist, cross. That's 4 passives worked through, and the pinhole that I reach first is this temporary pin in the middle of the bar holding its place, and so I remove that, the bar that we put the extra twists on and hung slightly out into mid-space here at the apex. Once we want some twist on the worker pair, pull the worker pair through, sorry my big hands are in the way, make a sewing, and put twist on the return of that bar. Don't replace the worker pair, you don't replace the pin in the middle of the bar. Then I'll work back out the outside pin of this downward leg. And there we reach the same place I started at the beginning. Coming down, doing your tensioning stitches and working back again. That is a sharp point. I will no doubt be using that in other laces that I make, but a very handy technique, very neat. Thank you for watching. Bye.